Aloha, welcome back. Today we are talking about crushed ice. You'll also hear it referred to as nugget ice or pebble ice or pellet ice. Basically, what they are, small little pieces of ice consistently made for your tiki drinks. They have a place in mint juleps too. If you have the money and you have room in your kitchen or in your bar, yes, the best bet is to buy one of these pebble ice makers, but it is going to cost you about $500. The second best option is to go to some place like Sonic. Luckily, I only live about 10 minutes away. It's on the highway, so even though it's only 5 miles, it takes me about 10 minutes to get there. And in the 10 minutes back, some of it's going to start to melt, especially after you place your order and you wait in line for it, and by the time they bring it to the car, and then by the time you get it into the house, you'll see that down at the bottom, some of it melts. And once you freeze that, obviously you can't really use it too much. You throw it and use it in the plants or dump it in the sink or whatever you might do. The one thing I don't like is the fact that I don't know what kind of water they're using. Is it filtered? Where are they getting it from? And how often is the machine clean and sanitized? I wrote to them and I asked them, and I get this form response which just says, "Thank you for your feedback." Well, I didn't give you any feedback. I asked you if the water was filtered. I imagine it is. If I knew the name and model of the machine, you would probably guess an industrial machine does have a filter in it. And the other part could easily be looked up in an employee handbook, which I hope you would have. These aren't difficult questions. I'm not asking for trade secrets. I even thought to pass by the Sonic because everybody there is always very friendly, very helpful, and they're always polite, kind, and courteous. And it's just a shame to think these people are being paid next to nothing, and yet people in the corporate office can't answer a simple question like, how often is the machine cleaned? Maybe they should switch salaries, start paying the workers a little bit more and paying people in corporate a little bit less. I was really looking for a solution to make good crushed ice at home, and the usual hammer mallet doesn't work out that well. These bags, they have to be washed, and if you wash them, you get the smell of detergent on them. You don't want that in your drink. I am a real ice fanatic, and more so an ice mold fanatic. Every time I see one in the store, I feel like I have to buy it if it's not something I already have, thinking it's going to be better and greater than the last thing I bought. So then I looked for these ice molds. And Rabbit has a brand specifically for Target called Houdini. Now these things look pretty cool, but as you're going to see in a little bit, they're not exactly easy to use. And this unit here was about $6, and they make about 160 little miniature ice cubes, which look kind of cool. I went onto their website, and ironically, I see a newer model that they have, and this one makes 286 per tray, and there's 3 trays. And I'm like, well, why wasn't this available to me? This one was only $15. Was the other one discontinued? Did they not update their website? And as you're going to see here, this is not the easiest thing to use. You got to fill in all these little squares. Going to spill a lot of water. You probably can't see it right now, but there's water dripping onto the floor. Of course, you could use tap water from a faucet. I just hope you have a filter. I am just really, really picky about the water and what I consume. And I know we've come a long way from the days of ice delivery from 100 years ago, but even today I see some unsanitary things happening, which is why I prefer to make the ice myself. If you have one of these kitchen gadgets that's good for scooping up diced onions and carrots and small vegetables, you're going to want to use this to level the water off so you don't spill it all over the freezer, and use it to slip under the ice tray so you could transfer it to the freezer, because this is a very flimsy unit. Once it's frozen, and it does take several hours, you're going to want to get these out of the mold, and it's not exactly easy, as you can see. As a matter of fact, I sped up this video, but it's almost as frustrating getting each and every one of these little tiny 160 miniature ice cubes out as it is for you to sit here and watch me do it. I did find another item in a different store, and it seems ingenious. And this thing makes rods. And you would think, yeah, you twist it and you break it, and yeah, this is going to be your crushed ice solution. But the fact is these come out in little rods. You really got to work to break it, and you may even find yourself breaking them up by hand. As much as I love the ingeniousness of this, I'm not really thrilled with the results. In the end, after hours of freezing and trying to extract all this, you could see that they both produce about the same amount of ice, anywhere from 2/3 to 3/4 of a cup of ice, or 6 ounces. That's good for about one drink. When all is said and done, I probably spent another $30 on molds, but I keep coming back to Sonic Ice. It's the best solution, it's the cheapest, it's the most abundant, it's the most consistent. The only issue I have is the cleanliness, the sanitary conditions, how often the machine is cleaned, and stuff like that. But if you absolutely positively have to make ice at home, by all means, I would suggest this Rabbit Houdini 160 mini ice cube crushed ice maker.